want some sauce?
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
What is up, everybody? In this video we are going to be making Spätzle or Spätzle or Spätzle or Spätzle. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I've heard so many different versions of it, I'm confused. But this is a German comfort food, and basically what we're going to be making today is kind of like a German macaroni and cheese. So check this out. It's really easy, and what's great about it is you don't need really any measuring tools, right? So all you need is a whisk. You don't even need a whisk. You probably use a fork. A bowl, some eggs, some water, some flour, some salt, anything else you really want to put in it, and a colander with some boiling water. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm only going to be making this for one person, so I'm not going to be needing to make a lot of this. And in this case I think 2 eggs. If there was a way to do 1 1/2, I would do 1 1/2, but you can't really do 1/2 of an egg. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. If you want to, you can use milk or 1/2 and 1/2 for yogurt or sour cream. But I gotta tell you, if I wasn't trying to make this traditionally, I'd be putting chicken stock in there, okay? Because I know that that would really put it over the top. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding flour to this, and we want a consistency that's like thick pancake batter. Okay, you see how thin this seems? That's too thin. We want it to be a little thicker than that. That's a little bit better, but we need this to be just a hair tighter than that. And I'm thinking maybe that right there will be enough. This is the consistency that I'm looking for. Now we need to put this into the refrigerator. Let it sit in there for about an hour, and we'll be good to go. You can let it sit in there for like a day if you need to, but it's usually better if you allow this stuff to kind of set up for about an hour or so inside the refrigerator. I've got some water in this pot, and I'm going to be putting some salt in here to help flavor the pasta. And don't be afraid to put salt in it, okay? Okay, so during the time that we're getting this stuff ready to cook, let's go ahead and prepare our cheese sauce. Okay, now we can do this in a few different ways. There's always so many different ways of doing things. Now I'm going to be adding some stuff to this that you wouldn't ordinarily see, but it's a way for me to kind of get rid of some leftovers. Like I've got some sliced tomato. I was going to make a BLT with this, then opportunity never popped up. And I have some bacon, okay, that has been cooked. And essentially, you know, macaroni and cheese. This would be good in macaroni and cheese. So what I want to do is cut these up into little pieces. Same thing, that will go into the noodles. And you have to pick what kind of cheese you want to use in your pasta, if you will. And in this particular case, I'm going to be using Swiss. You could use cheddar. You could use, you could really use almost anything that you like, really. Some of the more common German cheeses are really hard for me to get a hold of in this area, but you could use a good French cheese or whatever. Like I said, in this particular case, I'm going to be using Swiss cheese. You could add this, you could add Parmesan, you could add cheddar, you could add all sorts of stuff. It's up to you, you know. Now I still have, I have some blue cheese left over that technically I could throw in here too to add a little bit more flavor. Now I'm going to be using a guy like this so I can scoop the noodles up after I'm done with them. I'm going to end up pouring the batter in here. So I've got the batter inside here, and since it's been in the refrigerator, it has thickened up quite well. Now I'm just going to end up kind of pushing it through the colander, and we should start seeing noodles kind of wanting to start to form, you want to have the water at a pretty decent boil so they don't stick to one another. As soon as they start to float, technically they're done. When it floats like that, you know that the noodles are done. So we can take our slotted spoon and scoop all of these guys up. And it really doesn't take long for these to cook. I mean, 30 seconds maybe. Now let's make a sauce for it. Remember that bacon? We're going to get some of that fat out of there. Some of that smoky flavor. Going to be putting a little bit of butter inside here. The butter is a traditional way to go for sure. And I'm going to be adding something else in here that's a little traditional, and that's nutmeg. Now I have some fresh nutmeg, but I'm going to just be using a little bit of ground. And you're going to see I barely put really any inside there because a little goes a long way. There's already some salt in the bacon, so I'm not going to have to really worry about that too much, but I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to this. Some of this stuff that I'm adding is not traditional. Bacon is not traditional, okay? So, like I said, the tomatoes are definitely not going to be traditional. Okay, and then now we can take our noodles that we had just made, pour them inside here, kind of get them to get a nice even coat of all of that butter and bacon fat. It almost looks like scrambled eggs, huh? Okay, this is not traditional, but I'm going to put some tomatoes in there. That's going to actually add some good flavor. And I'm going to also end up adding some Swiss cheese. And in this case, I am going to add just a touch of half and half to this, just to make it a little thinner. Now it looks just like one of them pizza commercials, right? So we are going to call that good. Man, that cheese is insane. You can use fresh parsley flakes, or in my case, dry. Fresh ground black pepper. And there you go, guys. That is that. Like I said, if you want to put a little Parmesan on there, you can. You want to put some other types of cheeses on there, hey, ain't gonna hurt my feelings. If you want to end up putting this inside the oven and put it underneath the broiler and let the top of this broil up real nice, that'd be cool. Now I've got gluten intolerance and allergies and all sorts of stuff to different types of foods, but I'm going to try a taste of this since my wife isn't around, and I'll tell you what I think. Now I know I'm the one that cooked it, so can you really trust me? Yeah, you can. That's really good. And I know it's good because I wanted to swallow it, right? And when you have food intolerances and you have celiac disease and you have certain food allergies, you're careful about what you eat. And when I was chewing this, I was like, I want to swallow this. And if I did, I would be in trouble, but the taste of it was amazing. There's all sorts of things that you can do to this to kind of kick it up another notch, right? So you could also dice up just a little bit of onion and put it inside there in the cheese. That would be really, really good. Same thing with like maybe adding a little bit of garlic to it. That would be awesome. You can pretty much do whatever you want with this. And you saw how easy it was to make these noodles. So you don't even have to go out and buy pasta. All you need is some eggs and some flour and some water and you're ready to roll. You are going to see, and as I mentioned, that there are people that when they make it, they'll put things like sour cream, or they'll put half and half, or they'll put milk or something like that inside the batter itself. Okay, you can do that if you want to. Generally, all you need is eggs, water, flour, salt. You're done. Okay. Some people will put nutmeg in it. Don't need to. Some people, as soon as they're done with it, all they do is they just take some butter and coat all the noodles with butter. There's others that will put nothing but cheese and some nutmeg, right? This is pretty much like the German macaroni and cheese, but this is fantastic, easy to make, took me less than 20 minutes, and I made the noodles from scratch. This serving for one person might have cost me a total of 75 cents or something, right? It didn't cost. The most expensive thing was the cheese. Y'all really need to try this, man. This is some really good stuff. Anyway, that's that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos. I got tons of them like this, and I'm going to be having more in the future. So until next time, talk to you later.